right. Some real shit for you niggas. Check it out. Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on.
I'm having dreams of my enemies killing me, cause the way I be chasing my currency and dealing with bitches who work on their knees. The piece of young G, so I don't sleep, cause I got seed to feed. So I take no dose to ride with calicos and 44s. Made me a sick individual, mind of a criminal, acts of a serial killer, nigga. Don't make me kid at you. Gotta get this money, nigga. I be damned if I'm bummy while laughing at you niggas getting this cake. You niggas fake, shoot the A out the cake. So what can I say? These rampant niggas don't play. R.I.P. A-Wall, screaming fuck all y'all gon' stand tall.
Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but
you don't know organizations is out there trying to do what they can do?
Yeah.
Now you think that's gonna, even if we had 25 organizations in Minnesota, let's say, you think that's gonna stop violence like that?
Yeah.
No, man.
Yes, it is.
Man, you got to.
Yes, it is.
First of all, in life, listen.
I've seen it done.
In life, listen.
I'm just saying, I've seen it done.
When?
2017, 2018,
what?
Minneapolis reduced this crime in dramatic numbers, and that was because
and it was still a bunch of killings. People still gangbang.
No, it wasn't nowhere near what it is right now.
So if we have, say,
like we just said,
say Minneapolis have 85 murders this year, right?
It's not. We had 92 right now.
In 17, we had 50.
17, it was 47.
There you go. So we had 30 less murders.
I mean, it was double.
What are we talking about here?
It was the numbers double.
Man. That's 40 murders.
40 murders, but also let's think about the individuals that got popped. So a lot of the times we get stuck on who got murdered, and we forget about the 500-600 people that get shot throughout the year.
But the only way all that's going to slow down to like we really needs to, or even close. No, listen. Can I get off?
Go ahead, get off.
The only way we're going to ever get that to really slow down or even close to stop is if all working parts come together. That means the systemic racism. Systemic racism, which, you know, all the bullshit that you got to go through far as you know, like unfair jail sentences, motherfucking getting denied on loans for trying to buy you a house. I'll tell you a quick one real quick. I got my house appraised, right?
Mm-hmm.
They told me.
She said, "What's the topic?"
Being content.
Are you content?
So look, so they appraised the crib for say $200,000, right?
Some things are not controllable.
There you go.
Okay.
So
go ahead. Let me read.
So they appraised the crib for $200,000.
You can only be content with things you can control. You can't control. You can't change or progress from what you can't control.
So look, they appraised the crib for $200,000, right?
You should continue to reach higher goals.
3 weeks later, I got a different appraise, and it was $230,000.
My bad, y'all. I can't read all the comments.
Then why would you try?
I'm saying, like, I gotta expand it to something.
Listen. So anyway, so they appraised it for $200,000, right?
Right.
3 weeks later, I got a different appraisal company. They appraised it for $230,000.
Right.
So it's stuff like that where we gotta have, like we always say, we gotta have people in the damn like criminal system. We need judges. We need lawyers. We don't need football and basketball players all the time. Right. We need people in the system to help the people that's outside doing the work. We got to do something about the work in there also.
My thing is,
it's a collective effort.
It's a collective effort, yes. But my biggest thing is that us as families know who is in our family and who is able to cause danger.
And what does
it
that
is
mean?
not. We think that it's cool.
Who think it's cool?
You just said a few minutes ago, we know our little nephews X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z.
You got some nephews that gang bang and some that don't.
We're not supposed to be content with that.
Who say you're content with your nephew gang banging? How you gonna stop him?
You stop them by influencing them.
So you don't think they got good people in their family that they influence, that they see doing good?
but it has to be a little. It has to be more impactful than what it is right now. I know it sound real crazy or whatnot. But I don't blame nobody for what we go through. I don't blame. Like you know, white supremacy does play a factor, but to
a big factor.
It plays a factor. But a lot of the responsibility and accountability should be on us as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Nobody why can't it be two of the same? Nobody says if you hold them accountable, you can't hold yourself accountable.
When I say content, it's like when I say our urban communities are okay with our nieces and nephews being what they are.
No, you have some people within the community that's okay with that. You got some parents that had their kids throwing up gang signs, and you got some parents that take their kids to a Million Man March. That's life. You can't have right without wrong. You can't have left without right.
So how do we get more parents to take their children to the Million Man March versus the parents that want to teach their children how to gangbang? That's the level I'm talking about getting to.
The only way you do that is
I feel like we still in that position where we in because as a community, not placing blame on any individual or trying to blanket, but as a community in our inner cities, we have accepted such behavior as okay. Like we have accepted.
I don't know why
we have accepted. Because I mean,
who accepted it?
We accepted it.
How? When you got people out there trying to fight against you, can't stop. You can't snap your finger and stop it.
It's not. That's not. I'm saying from these families where the individuals come from, the families that have allowed the children to become the children that they become.
You said the families. The whole family allowed that kid to go get. So my whole family allowed me to become a Crip.
You made that decision.
Right.
You made that decision.
I got uncles that's successful, aunties that's successful.
But imagine if somebody within your family found out you became a Crip and then became a stronger influence in your life instead of just saying,
you don't think they tried?
That's okay.
You don't think people try to do that?
I don't think.
What makes you think people?
I think we should try harder.
And what makes you think people is?
I think we should try.
You've been around this. You've been around gangs all your life, right? You know how there's so many working parts to that. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, if they had somebody that loved them, yeah, they have people that loved them."
The thing is that
it's too many working parts to that.
The factors that could change that is a whole community.
Right, but you're not going to get the whole community on one accord.
Because some individuals within our community are okay with what's
course. Of course.
That's all I'm saying.
I know, but you're putting a blanket statement saying all. like we're letting them do this or do that.
So it's a lady that say families are supporting the wrong behavior because we have become overwhelmed with the work. Because we are not healing the broken issues from inside. So it's not like we necessarily content or but these are issues that are heavy.
Yeah, they definitely heavy.
Within a lot of households and in our community.
And they're going to continue to be heavy until we change shit from within.
Because we have to start by not being satisfied with the status quo in which we live in. It's not acceptable.
How is people satisfied though when you got people putting in the work?
We don't have it. We don't have a lot of people. I mean, we have individuals. We have individuals that are doing the work. We have, small little factions here and there. I'm talking about as a whole, to where not only is that energy inside one person to try to do the work, but the energy is transferable to everybody that live on that block.
Yeah, but
that's all I'm
definitely ideal. That's definitely what we would like to see if we could get everybody in the whole community to get right. But that's impossible.
Because why?
It's impossible.
But why
it's a thousand reasons why.
Why is it impossible?
Poverty. It's too many things to name.
Why does a person?
Social media now. That's one of the bigger things now.
I mean, not to say that it's a bad thing, because I know how the world is designed. But even a person within poverty has an opportunity to develop something that is lucrative.
Yes, everybody could become whatever the hell they want to become, but in the reality of it, though, everybody ain't that damn strong-minded like we think everybody. There's leaders and stuff for reasons. Everybody don't have a leader of mind and never will from the beginning of time.
That's where it boils down to, okay, the leaders have to come out and share that knowledge, right? So I was talking to the little guy, and it's like there's 3 phases of growth, right? the 3 phases of growth. You start off with learning, right? So to first grow into the individual you need to become, you have to first learn how to learn or listen. So you have to learn from somebody that has been through something. And once you learn that information, you apply that information to your life, and then you learn how to live what you learn. Now, once you learn how to live what you learn, you get to the last phase in which you can turn around and then teach what you lived and what you learned to individuals that should be, mature enough to learn how to listen in order to learn how to live, so that they can turn around and learn how to teach. Like that's the lineup we need.
Yeah, in order to be a leader, you gotta know how to follow.
Gotta follow.
But don't even, man, listen, man. We gotta teach the youth. We're not gonna get through to a person that's 16, 17 majority of the time. Not saying they're, like to throw them away or nothing. Right. But you gotta get to the kids that's at 3, 4 years old.
All of them.
You gotta get to the young ones and grow them up a certain kind of way.
So that they never become content with the environment in which they live. Now, regardless of the influence involved, I'm just going to read one comment. This comment says, we may not be satisfied or accepting, but the violence is definitely normalized. Not just at the local level, but at the cultural level, nationally. And then the young lady says, and if you can't lead, you must follow. Following is okay.
Yeah, you gotta know how to follow to lead.
Right, so like
to be a great leader, you gotta know how to follow.
That's how we, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have a generational kind of gap right now where, for one, a lot of us don't even want to learn how to learn first. Right? We wanna just teach, and we have to learn first, and then live out what we learn in order to teach. And what happens in our communities that are dealing with violence and multiple families and dynamics that have allowed this violence to spill over, you know what I'm saying? We have learned not to learn. Overly aggressive if somebody tells us, you know what I'm saying, try to teach us something, like we try to minimize it, you know what I'm saying? Just out of like this weird space, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we have to learn how to learn and then live it and then teach it. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for the whole community. You know what I'm saying? Like, every last one of us has to learn how to learn about what's going on in our neighborhoods with our children. You know what I'm saying? And not be okay with the fact that, Tim and them in the basement, 20 deep, shooting dice and playing with guns in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that behavior could possibly end them outside doing something else. Like, and get them out of the mindset where they're content with that behavior and take them somewhere else so that they can expand their mindset.
Now, on the flip side, let's talk about the first meaning of the word. The importance of being content.
Man.
The importance of that. No matter if you're only making $8 at your job, but you're working every day, you put in your 40 to 60 hours a week. Yeah. You should be content, happy with you putting in the work. Yeah. Now, do you stay there? No, that's up to you, actually. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to be rich.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people just want to have an apartment and a cab.
But it's the mindset of being happy, though. It's the first meaning of the word content. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some people got it all and still ain't content. They want more and more and more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Might got a Billy outside. Yeah. They want to go get 3 more Billies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it is important to talk about that part too, of being content, being happy.
Right, just being
from
happy.
within.
And that's why I can relate to like some of the guys. So with the nonprofit work that we've been doing, the community outreach that we've been doing, we get an opportunity to meet individuals that are really homeless or living in tents outside. And in some of those conversations, you find out that some of these individuals enjoy that free life. You know what I mean? Being able to just be free and be outside and not have to worry about nobody telling them what time to wake up or what time to go do this. Like, some people are happy with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think as a community, we should support that mindset, because it's almost like we cast people out that just want to live free. And like in the world, we're gonna run into people that want to live like that. I mean, we all different.
There's a lot of people that see. To me though, I wouldn't be on the level of like those cats that's on like Lake and Fifth and in between houses. But you got people that actually really do go like live in the woods though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? People that build tree houses and stuff of that nature.
Man, I was actually that brings me to this little situation that was happening this summer. So like when we was on the Mississippi River riding, like we was finding little caves along the shorelines where like people were living inside of the caves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, like looking at it, I was like, man, that's really messed up. You gotta live in a cave. But for that person, man, that might be living the time of his life.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. They probably did that on purpose. Like, there's a lot of people that live like that that's rich.
They really got
You know what I'm
money.
saying? I be watching TV shows and stuff like that. Like people that literally would leave
Live
their
off
house
the
for 2-3 months at a time and just go live off the land.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's important to know that part of content too, is being happy.
Yeah, be happy.
Be happy
You know
with
what
your
I'm saying?
situation, man. I
Be
mean,
happy.
whatever your success is, that's another thing. Success, it's whatever your success is.
Be
You know what I mean?
Man. Like nobody's here to judge anyone. You know what I mean? Or like put anybody down. But it's like we have to, become aware with what is content for us. What is content for you? Again, the phone number is tagged on the live. So if you want to call in and just share a couple comments with us, like you're more than welcome to. Like it's really an interactive live, and we really like sharing these conversations and holding these spaces where we can communicate and try to understand one another. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get to the point where we really understand one another and respect one another as like being human beings, so that we can live in peace, at least for